Windows shouldn't fail after just a few years, but for one condominium building in the Chicago suburbs, a few small leaks were signs of widespread issues, which eventually led to several windows falling out of the building.
I'm Loretta Kalina. I'm president of the association board. I've lived in this building for 11 years. I was one of the very first residents. So to have a failure of windows seemed beyond belief. We did look to our management company for help in helping us figure out a solution to the problem. And their suggestion, of course, was hiring a construction engineering company to study the problem.
We were able to start off small with an investigation in a single unit, which led to a larger investigation of the entire complex. With the 192 openings at the building, ultimately what we found is that there were many deficiencies with the existing windows, which would either allow water penetration or would pose fall hazards to building occupants and those below. There were several issues involved. One clearly was the installation of the windows. And ultimately, with regard to the existing vinyl cladding, several issues with hairline cracks, tears in the vinyl, and screws which are becoming loose on the crank hardware, which began this investigation in the first place.
They did a very thorough study and came back with very serious proposals to remedy what we had. There were no Band-Aid solutions.
Any repairs would not be long-term in nature. The association ultimately decided that replacing all of the existing windows at the property would be in their best long-term interest. Certainly there were some unit owners who were not in favor of the window replacement project. Obviously that's a decision that the board needs to make. What's the best decision for this association? But as the project progressed and as they saw the quality of the new windows and the quality assurance and quality control that was going into the construction and installation, the feedback was very positive.
There's a lot of time that's invested in making sure that the right people are involved, that the right products are involved. I think that's where Marvin comes in and shines. The commercial rep was involved long before we were involved. And so having the support of the manufacturer, Marvin, brings to the project a lot more confidence. We also have a very strong understanding of what is involved in working on projects of this scope. When you're working with property managers and homeowner associations, there's a lot involved in those relationships because everyone has a different need.
The association, given the facts, ended up choosing aluminum-clad wood windows so that they could keep a similar appearance to what was on the exterior of the building, with the performance requirements kind of in the back of their heads.
The Marvin casement, the ultimate casement window, is the right window for this project, simply because, number one, it's fabricated from Marvin. So the products are coming out to us all completely assembled, which is one of the requirements of the engineer. So that made a huge difference in making sure that this project went well and will perform well over the next 30-35 years. This was a full replacement project. We're completely gutting the windows. And when you're dealing in a home environment, you're working around furniture and a lot of expensive items. You have to respect the home. Having your own people becomes very, very important. We don't subcontract the work out.
The owners who preceded me all praised the neatness of the operation in spite of the fact that it was so deep into the construction of the building. So I went into it thinking this was going to work just fine, and indeed it did. The operation of the windows is smoother, easier. They're giving me better performance than what they replaced.